Hey y'all, welcome back to Poplar Creek Farm. I'm out in the garden tonight. I wanted to give you guys an update. We have been really hard at work in the garden. Lots of, not necessarily planting, some planting, but a lot of garden prep. And getting things ready for the summer garden, getting things ready to be planted out very shortly because honestly, within the next week or two, we'll probably be planting the summer garden. Our estimated last frost is May 11th. And normally I typically have to wait a week or two after that, or oftentimes I do. There have been years where I haven't, and I think this is gonna be one of those years. We've been quite warm overnights, pretty warm, pretty consistently in the 40s, even sometimes 50s. Last night we did dip down into the 30s, but it was like upper 30s, and it was the first night we've had that, and nothing else is forecasted. Obviously, I'll continue to keep an eye on it prior to actually planting. I haven't even started hardening things off, so we're not quite there, but we're getting there. I want to show you guys the strawberry bed. Oh my goodness. So I ordered 100 bare root strawberry plants from Burpees. They're honey-o or honey, something along those lines, however you say it. My garden helper. And I am thoroughly impressed. So let's take a look. So we planted these. Now this is a lot of compost here, but it's 102, I believe, total. And they were not green when we planted them. I mean, they had like a little bit of green on them. And then we put lawn clippings as like mulch. And look at them. I mean, they're just doing insane.
It looks like hay now.
It does look like hay. Well, that's pretty much what hay is. They look beautiful. I am so happy. So over here is our asparagus bed. Now I had my strawberry bed over here before, and we had this spiky weed that I didn't take care of super well. I kind of let go to seed at times. And now it's in this because I took out the strawberry bed and I actually took out a lot of the dirt, but the seed's here. So I am going to be fighting this, but I am going to do my very best to stay on top of it.
Many.
So you can see there's that spiky weed. That's what it looks like. And as of right now, this is the only asparagus I see, but look at it, it's a baby asparagus. We cannot harvest this year, and we will not harvest. We will allow them to they'll get all bushy and everything, and then...
There's one growing.
Is there? Oh yeah, which? Oh no, that's just a weed.
Oh, whoops.
There should be quite a few. There was like 25 in here, and I'm assuming they'll be okay, and they'll grow. Hopefully we'll get lots more of those. And hopefully that spike weed, I don't actually know what it's called. I call it spiky weed. Doesn't completely take over. But let's look at what else we've done. So these 2 rows were planted and covered. There's a couple onions down here. And then this is celery, and then there's like cabbages and stuff. The broccoli has gone right to seed. This is all onions over here. Some of these cabbages are looking decent. They were a little down there with all the flowers on it. Some of these cabbages were a little damaged from a frost that we had, a pretty hard frost. So, but they're coming back. And then there's a couple holes that are empty because the cabbages died, and we'll fill those in. Broccoli just went right to seed. Bolted right away. Didn't even give me a chance to get anything. Not even close. So the way we've set up this garden now, this is kind of my row garden. Obviously strawberries, asparagus, rows. This will be like, you know, brassicas, onions, carrots, cucumbers, squash, or not squash, zucchini will be over here. Tomatoes, peppers, beans, all those types of things are going to be over here. Herbs, lettuce, peas. Over in this back area is going to be wheat, and then corn, and then this is potatoes, and that's squash. Now, originally I had talked about doing like that bottom half would be squash, because I thought that black fabric, the 300 feet by 6 feet, would be enough to cover that whole bottom area, and it covered like a quarter of it. And then this top area would be potatoes. So what we decided is we are going to do the corn in here. We have plenty of space in here. I don't really need that much more space to plant other things and then also plant corn in the backfield. So it was plenty. But we did get potatoes planted. All of our regular potatoes are in. Our sweet potatoes will come in. The slips will come in a couple weeks. So we have, I think, 5 or 6 rows of potatoes. They're ones that we had harvested last year, and ones just got saved. So we have a few Yukon Gold, we have Red Norland, Adirondack Blue, and Russet. Now, after having these for a year, Adirondack Blue is by far the best for preservation or for long-term storage. They they sprouted the last out of all the potatoes, and they stayed firm the longest. So we want to have a lot of those, and we did plant. We had quite a few Adirondack Blue left that we wanted to plant. That's going to be the kids area, and we are going to cover it with like a craft paper fabric or brown paper, just so they don't have to fight weeds completely. So in here, what is planted other than potatoes and the brassicas and onions, there's a whole row of carrots. There's a whole row of beets, and yes, there are some weeds. I'm gonna start.
Beets, let's go.
I know. I'm gonna start picking, or start, staying on top of the weeds. We have in this row lettuce, radishes, and then peas. You can see the radishes, that bright green. Lots of them are coming up. Peas are coming up really good. Then we have empty row that have no cover on them. We ended up with a little bit of a short row here. So we've got some area uncovered. And then the rest of this is all covered rows. Tomatoes, beans, peppers, cucumbers.
Is there anything under?
No. Those will all go in those areas. My husband did get the corn planted today because although our estimated last frost isn't until this weekend, we're looking like we're in the clear. But also corn can be planted a little bit before. And then I planted wheat, and I thought when I kind of envisioned this, I set it up, I thought this whole section was going to be wheat. But from the amount of seed I had, just that little end chunk is planted. So this is going to be flowers. I have lots and lots and lots of flower seeds.
Dirt?
Yeah, that's straight up dirt.
That's very little.
That's all I had seed for. My mom works at a school, and they have a little garden club or a club after school, and they do some gardening. And
It's a Girl Scout club thing.
yeah, it's a girl club thing. And they Home Depot had donated a bunch of seeds that they couldn't sell anymore. They were last year's seeds, and they kept a ton of them, but they was like a massive box. My mom was able to bring me a bunch of flower seeds, so I'm pretty excited. So over on the black fabric is going to be our winter squash, as well as like watermelon. Those two will be over there. So you can kind of see my husband he bladed this with the actually with the bucket. And so then that's our walkway, and then he did one over here too. So we have a walkway in between the corn, squash, and potatoes. We have an area to walk down to get to everything. But yeah, it's coming together. Things are starting to really look good.
I want a garden.
Everything's getting planted. You want a garden?
Yes, I do want a garden.
So probably this weekend, I'm going to start hardening off plants. And it looks like next week, like the beginning of next week, is going to be dry for the most part. So we will go ahead and get the summer garden planted as long as the forecast is looking warm enough. I can't wait.
Hopefully. Make it warm.
So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Remember, we're growing today for a better tomorrow. Please like and subscribe and join me on the next one.